everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our Pax8 virtual launch briefing, first of the year. On behalf of the entire team here, I'd really like to thank you for your interest in wanting to learn more about us here at Pax8. Our work here is fully centered around empowering our partners, not only to buy, sell, and manage cloud products, but also guide and support you and your organization every step of the way. We're very excited to kick things off and share a little bit more about Pax8. One thing that's super special about today's event is you'll have the opportunity to meet a variety of individuals from our team. To kick things off, I want to introduce myself. I am Priscilla Elisario. I am a Senior Channel Programs Manager here at Pax8. And so much of what our team focuses on is education and enablement. So not only do we host these launch briefings, but we also bring mission briefings, boot camps, educational webinars, you name it, to our partners, which I will share about a little bit more about later on. But first, I'd like to introduce the rest of our team. Nick, do you want to jump on and say hey?
Thanks, Priscilla. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nick Miller. I'm the manager of cloud generation here at Pax8, located here down in the Denver Tech Center. I just want to welcome everyone and say that I'm excited to be here with you all today.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. And then Grant.
Hi, everyone. My name is Grant Wallace. I'm a solutions engineer here at Pax8. Been with Pax8 for about 4.5 years now, and excited to show you all about the Pax8 marketplace and also some neat features. So looking forward to chatting and happy to have you all here today. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Grant. And last but not least, we have one of our partners on with us today as well, Andrew. Go ahead and pass it to you.
Good morning. I'm Andrew Carey, President and CEO of Shift IT Solutions and soon to be Shift IT Intelligence, thanks to Pax8.
Love it. Thanks for being here, Andrew. So yeah, throughout the whole event here, you guys will be hearing from each of these folks. So we're happy to have you. But we got a packed agenda for you all today. We really want you to get that firsthand look at what it's like to be a partner with us here at Pax8. We'll start with an overview of the Pax8 partner experience. I'm really highlighting how collaborating with us here is a strategic addition to your company, how transforming from MSP to MIP, that managed intelligence provider, how crucial it is and how we can help you do it, and then also showcasing our partner value framework. You'll discover the transformative impact of our Pax8 marketplace and PSA integrations, really designed to help streamline and simplify your daily operations. Then we'll explore the Pax8 education and enablement initiatives, along with some Voyager Alliance updates, and really demonstrating how we are dedicating to serving you as your partner and support system. And then you'll hear from Nick and Andrew in a Q&A session. So any questions you have for them, throw those in the Q&A. And then to wrap it up, we'll go over some next steps in the partnership. We also have a raffle for you all today. So our goal is really to help you feel fully supported. So definitely ask your questions. You'll be entered to win a 3-month instructor-led training subscription. So definitely get those questions in and you'll be entered to win that. But I'd really like to kick us off with a poll today, really see where you're at with your business right now. So what pain points are you looking to solve for your business? I will launch that here. We would love for you to take a minute, throw your responses in. Again, really want to make sure we're tailoring this to you. So I'll leave that up for just a second as those answers come in. So thank you for your participation. Give me just a minute, then I'll throw some resources in the chat for you as well. Awesome. I see those answers coming in. Sales and tech support, Microsoft expertise, ongoing education. Awesome. I know there's a lot of options there, so thank you all. Throw that in there. Perfect. So let me stop that poll, but keep them coming if you have some more input. We'd love to see it as well in the chat. All right. Okay, so sweet. I really just want to get into the evolution of Pax8. Our story has really always begun with a mission to empower our partners. I'm so excited to talk through where we've been and where we're going. When Pax8 really started, it was really about solving a problem that you faced every day, which is making cloud solutions easier to sell and scale. From the beginning, your feedback has always shaped every step that we've taken. We love to listen and learn alongside you, making sure each of our content, our events, our webinars are really tailored to you. So following this event, I'll also throw a survey chat a survey link in the chat for you to take. So please do that. Again, we really want to make sure we are with you every step of the way. Awesome. We really started with an easy to use marketplace and seamless PSA integrations to streamline your business. We've then extended our support through our pro services and Pax8 Academy, which you'll hear about in just a little bit. But along with our events, our mission briefings, boot camps, and so much more, this really led to the creation of the Wingman experience. Does anyone remember the Wingman era? If so, we'd love to hear your thoughts in the chat. I know that was a fun era for all of us, so really led to that. And your enthusiasm has really inspired us to innovate, and today our community is over 43,000 partners strong, so that's a huge thank you to all of you. As our partner base grew, so did your success. We created the partner value framework, which you'll hear about as well, focusing on managing risks, increasing efficiencies, and growing your business. We saw the potential for an AI-powered marketplace to uncover hidden blind spots in your business, which you'll see from Grant in just a little bit, as well as Opportunity Explorer, which he'll dive in. So it's just some great resources for all of you. And we've launched the first ever Pax8 Beyond event, which I believe is 3 years now. So we're really excited to kick that off again this summer. So we'd love to see you there. Some more details on that in just a little bit as well. And our future has really always been a part of our DNA. We didn't wait for change. We've been driving it. The future is here. And really to stay ahead, that we've shifted to a product first approach, including our Pax8 Marketplace, Pro Services, Voyager Alliance, which again, you'll hear all about today. So we're excited to have you. And really all of this to say is we're proud of our past and we're just so ready for your future. With innovations designed by you and enablement built for you, we're really just here to help you aim for infinite. So thank you again for joining us today. I really wanted to touch on the agentic inflection point. This really marks a transformative movement where AI systems begin to reshape how businesses operate and scale, which I'm sure this is not news to you. But this shift really empowers MSPs to evolve into MIPs, which is that managed intelligence providers. What really sets MIPs apart from the traditional MSP, it's not just about deploying AI tools, but it's about building that new muscle and optimization with that agentic design. So we really have you at the center of this framework. So from coming to transforming, buying, selling, managing, again, you are at the center of that. And with that as well, we have some resources for you. I'll leave this up for a second, but we have the Agentic Inflection Point report, as well as a managed intelligence provider playbook. So I know that was a lot of information. These resources will help you get into detail, answer your questions, and also your account managers are always here to help you answer those as well. So I'll give that one just a second. And then I also have the managed intelligence provider playbook for you. And I'll throw these in the chat as well. So you can access those. But there is that MIP playbook. But again, any questions? I know these are a lot of information, lots of resources for you, but we want to make it easy. So just reach out to your account manager if you have any questions on those. So those will come in the chat in just a second. But with that, I'd love to pass it off to Nick to go over some more partnership items.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Priscilla. So the Pax8 Partner Value Framework aligns solutions to your goals and really defines how we help MSPs grow, mature, and scale. Our focus is pretty simple. It's growing your business, gaining efficiencies, and reducing risk. And on the next slide is going to be how we do it. So as I mentioned, we understand that every partner that we work with is focused on growing their business, gaining efficiencies, and managing risk. So as a result, we are focused on helping our partners discover what's possible, design what's required, and deliver a phenomenal client experience, okay? So here's how we do that. We discover, we design, and deliver. So a few things on the discovery side is that we're going to help you identify new revenue opportunities. We're going to help you access a diverse product portfolio. We're going to help you architect the right cloud stack with expert guidance. We can help you seamlessly consolidate your cloud business. We have some free NFRs in our marketplace as well. And we're also able to help you navigate vendor incentives with ease. On the design side of things, we're going to help you confidently onboard new vendors. We have some things along the lines of like peer collaboration and best practice sharing. We also have some one-on-one coaching for operational efficiency and hands-on engineering and sales training. Also, too, We have some integrated billing through some unique PSA tool integrations. On the deliver side of things, we have one invoice across all vendors for predictable monthly billing. Instant provisioning, we have some usage-based that's updated daily, as well as 24/7 support. And then on the next slide is how do we make your life easier? We help you save 7 to 10 hours monthly with one single invoice that's line itemized for you by customer and product once a month. We have 98% automated provisioning. As I mentioned before, we have some industry-leading PSA integrations. We have a 76 net promoter score along with 90+ certifications across our staff. We also have white labeled professional services, which I'll go into here in just a little bit. We also have some pretty deep Microsoft expertise. I know that I saw some of you post that in the poll before, that was something that was super important to you. And then we also have some ongoing in education and curated learning through our Pax8 Academy. Next slide, please. All right, so our commitment to simplifying what brings you success. We deliver more than transactions. We deliver a complete partner experience through 24/7 partner support, technical events, Pax8 Academy and peer groups, professional services, and then also 2 Microsoft and security expertise. We also drive innovation through our marketplace, PSA integrations, billing efficiency, automated provisioning, as well as streamlined license management. All right, so we're going to launch a poll here really quick. What are the top resources that you look for when partnering with a marketplace? All right, so it looks like we got some responses for tech support, education and sales enablement. We'll keep that up there for just another minute. All right, we've got a couple for marketing services. All right. Well, I'm going to kick it over to my man and the Pax8 People's Choice Award winner and my good friend, Grant Wallace, to chat about the Pax8 Marketplace. Grant, how are you, man?
Hey, Nick, I'm doing well, and thanks for the introduction. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go dive right into the Pax8 Marketplace. I know you guys aren't mic'd up, but please feel free to drop any questions that you have. I want this to be as interactive as possible. And in the chat, I got my double monitor pulled up so I could see any questions that come in. So if you have any questions, please drop them in and I'll do my best to address them during my demo here today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just waiting to pick the right screen. We'll go here. And can you guys see the Pax8 Marketplace?
You're all set, Grant.
Awesome. Cool. So I'm going to click on my icon here up in Marketplace to have your logo. This is my logo here. But this will bring me to the home screen where I could see just some relevant information. You'll have this rotating banner showing different initiatives or things going on in the Pax8 Marketplace or in our ecosystem. You'll also be able to see recommended vendors. You'll see any quotes, opportunities. Here's like an unsynced subscriptions list, which I'll touch on when it comes to our PSA tool integration. And then here I got my gross monthly recurring revenue in my marketplace. But the way that I approach walking our partners through the marketplace is I always like to start from the top left here, work my way all the way down, and then touch on these few icons here in the top right. But first, what we're going to look at is our clients. So I'd say the what I want to communicate to you today is just the ease of being able to buy, sell, and manage your cloud services in the Pax8 marketplace, and then all the different features that we have to really aid and simplify that process. So up in the top left here, we have our clients. This is where you're going to have all of your clients in the Pax8 marketplace. You can search, you can filter by client name, you could filter by industry, phone number. You can also favorite some clients. So if I were to click into one of my clients on this page here, this is where first I'm going to be shown with all the subscriptions that I have for that particular client. So for my company, Wallace and Granco, I have all these different Microsoft subscriptions currently. I could search by product, billing term. We also have some additional filters here. The other things that you'll find on your clients page, details, this will be just some required fields in terms of like the name, the address, if you want to set up like demographics, if you have any contacts for that specific client organization, you'll find them here. Then client portal. And again, I'm going to be just doing a high level overview today. If you do have specific questions, please reach out to your dedicated point of contact. If you don't have one currently, then please sign up to get access to the Pax8 marketplace. But one of the things that I'm just going to touch on briefly here is the ability to set up a client portal for your end users to be able to self-service. So you could set that up here from the clients page. And then here are just some other different, if you wanted to set up payment for that client, you could set that up here, any provisioning data, and then any notes for that client account, you could set that up here. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump now to subscriptions. So this is where I can see all the subscriptions that I have in the Pax8 marketplace. I could search by product, client, billing term. We have some additional filters here. So maybe I want to look at, we'll go back to my client Wallace and Grant. I only want to see their subscriptions and I only want to see their Intune licenses. So hey, here's my 3 different Intune Plan 1 products that I have for a specific company, and I can see each has that different billing and commitment term variation to it. I'm a Excel person. I also work with our partners when it comes to the PSA tool integrations. And so one of the things that I think is helpful is just being able to download this list as a CSV. And then you could do any sorting or filtering, especially when it comes to picking up on commitment term renewals. I know it can be challenging once Microsoft rolled out the NCE, the new commerce experience, making sure everything's co-terming on the same date, or when you know when those different renewals are coming up so you can decrease or cancel during that commitment term renewal window. Next, I'm going to jump over to trials. Here, this is where I'd be displayed with any trials. Currently don't have any trials in my marketplace. And then next is going to be the NCE tracker. This is a tool, this actually takes you out of the Pax8 marketplace where you can then see any, this was initially helpful for our partners converting from legacy to NCE, but now it's just helpful for managing those commitment term renewal dates. Awesome. So at this point, I'm going to go now jump into the Pax8 catalog. And this is where you can find all the different products and vendors that we work with here at Pax8. There's a lot of different vendors. I know in our previous virtual launch briefings, we always discussed about how that list is ever growing, and it is still ever growing. And really, we're vetting these different vendors to make sure that they are the best vendors for you, and making sure that they really fit our MSP partners' businesses. And so here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to search for Microsoft. At this point, I'll be able to find any different SKUs that we have in the Pax8 marketplace. Looks like E5, I have a promotional available. Let's go and click into that. So here, this will bring us to the catalog page. We can see some special offers going on. At this point, this is where I'd specify what client that I want to purchase this for. Maybe I'm going to purchase this for Wallace and Granco. I can then specify my quantity, billing term, commitment term. If you open up the pricing panel here, at this point, you'll see additional pricing based on those different billing and commitment terms. And then I'm going to go through and I'm actually going to start placing an order. So one quantity of 1, billing term monthly, commitment term monthly. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. It'll bring me to this product configuration page where I can now add it to cart. At this point, if I wanted to start purchasing some additional licenses, I can get back into the catalog by clicking this. I could delete this item from my cart. I could edit my cart, but I'm going to go ahead and click checkout. At this point, this is going to be what our checkout process looks like, where you can then, you'll have your client information pre-populated, any billing information. This is going to be the necessary provisioning details based on the type of product that you're purchasing. You have the ability to, if you already have existing subscriptions for this client, align that commitment term end date to existing subscriptions or to end of month if you'd like. And then next, this would be where you'd go ahead, accept the terms and conditions. You could put in a PO number, order notes, and once I hit confirm or place order, at that point, then I will have that license will begin provisioning, and then I'll have that subscription for my client in the Pax8 marketplace, and then I'd be able to find that in my subscriptions list. I'm going to jump back to the catalog, and so here you can still see I have that cart. The other types of products that we have in the Pax8 marketplace, maybe you want to start filtering by a specific category. Maybe I want to look at all of our email security products. You'll see different types. You'll have ones that are based on that specific partner price, and then some you'll see here determined by usage. So I'll switch to my partner account to purchase this one. And then if you wanted to see additional pricing information around it, you could click into this pricing panel here, and then you'd be able to see some of the different products for that specific vendor and also the pricing around it. You can also see description, some features and benefits, additional information, and then I always like to see our resources. My team on the SE team, depending on the vendor, we've put together different demo on demands, but you also see just different resources where you can learn more about that product and how to position it to your clients. I'm going to jump back. So I showed you how to place a new order, showed you how to find different things in the catalog. But now let's say I want to go to a subscription and just be able to increase or decrease the quantity. So maybe I look at this Visio Plan 1 here. If I click into that subscription, that'll bring me to the subscriptions page. I'll touch on this big blue sync button up in the top right, but here you can see some relevant subscription information, billing term monthly, commitment term monthly, it's commitment term end date. If you had placed a commitment term adjustment, you'd be able to see where that falls. You can see the quantity, price, cost, and then at this point, this is how you can then just modify and manage that subscription. So let's say I wanted to just increase the quantity. I could come in here, accept the terms and conditions, hit submit. And then at that point, I would add that license. And now I would see a quantity 2, and then I would see that license provision in the Microsoft portal. Go ahead and cancel that out. Also on this page, you'll be able to see any subscription history. You'll be able to see any scheduled changes that you might have. So just really easy to be able to modify, manage your subscriptions, see any changes that have happened in the Pax8 marketplace. So now I'm going to jump down into this SellBlade. So these are some of our newer marketplace experience features. Most of these were released back in our first Beyond and also at our second Beyond as well. But you'll see these constantly being iterated upon. Storefronts is something that I work with our partners quite frequently. This is how you can build out a custom curated catalog for your end user self-service clients, or you can also build out essentially what I consider like a menu, which is our public storefront that I've seen some partners embed on their website, or just essentially be a link, a shareable link to show what different types of products that you're offering, almost as if it's a lead gen tool to help you onboard new clients. Custom products, I'll go through these quickly. This is how you can create custom products and add them to storefronts or add them as items in the catalog. Solutions, this is where you can create custom built bundles in our marketplace. So you could have like a one-click order in our catalog. Quotes, this is our quoting tool. So it gives you the ability to send out quotes to your clients. And I'll show you real quickly how easy it is. Let's go ahead and find my client, Wallace and Grant Co. At this point, I can add different line items. I have my intro message, terms and disclaimers. I could add documents to that quote. So if you don't have a quoting tool, we have a free pre-built one into our marketplace. At this point, if I wanted to start adding line items, I would be able to add a section here. Maybe I want to call this my Microsoft section. And now here I'll start adding the different line items. Maybe I want to add business basic. We'll use this business basic SKU. And then here, if I had an existing subscription, I could modify the existing. I could create a new subscription, select the billing commitment term, and this will all pull directly from our catalog. So really quick and intuitive way to create quotes from our marketplace. I'm now going to jump into Opportunity Explorer. Priscilla had mentioned this in the beginning of our presentation here today. This is a way where you can identify different opportunities or gaps or different opportunities to position different vendors to your clients. And so if I zoom in or zoom out here, I call this, I've heard partners call this like the atomic or molecular view. But each of these circles and the nodes popping off of them, these are going to denote a specific client and then the specific opportunities across that client. And so we have upsell, cross-sell, add-on, upgrade, net new opportunities. And here you'll be, if I click into this client, demo client 71, I'll be displayed with different opportunities that I have for that specific client. So maybe I want to click into this exclaimer. The reason why I'm being recommended this is it's an easy product to implement that can help demo client 71 manage email signatures. I could see the potential monthly recurring revenue. I could see different academy resources, demo on demands, some selling resources, and from here I could create a quote. So a way for you to identify different opportunities that you have across your client base. I've sometimes seen partners use this as almost like a QBR tool to help them run their quarterly business reviews with their clients. So definitely a really neat tool, and I'd recommend checking it out. Now I'm going to jump into billing. This is where I don't have any billing information in my demo marketplace, but this is where I'd be able to see any payments, any invoices sent from Pax8, customer payments, customer invoices if you had people set up for bill on behalf. You have any credit memos. If you had any customer credit memos, you'd all be able to see this in the billing section. When it comes to our invoicing, it's going to be one bill once a month, line itemized by customer and subscription. It'll come in CSV or PDF format. I personally, I'm a CSV person. I like to be able to sort and filter, but I also see a lot of partners just leverage the PDF, and really just to make it as simplified as possible, it's going to be one bill once a month, and you'll see your customers and your subscriptions underneath or each of those different customers. Next, I'm going to jump to orders. This is where you're going to see any orders that have happened in the Pax8 marketplace. Again, you could download this list as a CSV file if you'd like as well. But here, this will show me any completed orders. If I switch to detailed views, I could see the type of the order, if it's a renewal, if there was any quantity change. So really just helping you to be able to track exactly what's going on in your Pax8 marketplace. You can also see any scheduled changes. So you do have the ability in the Pax8 marketplace to say, hey, maybe I want to schedule an increase or a decrease to happen at a specific date. I could set that up in the Pax8 marketplace, and then I'd be able to see that in the scheduled orders blade here. It's definitely helpful when it comes to if you need to make a cancel and you're stuck with those commitment term end dates when it comes to a specific product. That way you can future date that cancellation, and then that'll go through once that commitment term renewal occurs. The other tabs up here, you have awaiting approval. This is for if you have customer clients, you can set up if you have any self-service clients, you can have them be able to have additional safeguards where if they try to place an order, you can approve or reject that order. Open carts. So here you'd be able to see any open carts that you've created in the Pax8 marketplace. And then lastly, one-time charges. Next thing I want to touch on is going to be our integration section. This is something that I think is really a major benefit of working with Pax8, and I just think is really innovative in what we're doing with this approach here. This is going to bring you to our integrations hub where you can see any connected apps. You can set up webhooks to our marketplace. You can create API keys if you're building out your own custom built integration. And then we also have an MCP server that you can connect with your AI tool of choice, whether it's Copilot, Claude, VS Code, Cursor. And what that allows those AI tools is access into the Pax8 marketplace to be able to read data. So if you wanted to ask questions like, hey, how many subscriptions are up for renewal in the next month? Your AI tool would be able to get that information from the Pax8 marketplace, leveraging the MCP server to answer those questions. So really cool things going on in the integrations hub. I'd say there's two approaches for our partners. You have where you can find pre-built integrations. So here you can see any integrations in our Pax8 marketplace. I'm going to be walking through the ConnectWise integration today. This is one that we've built out, we manage and continue to innovate around. But you'll also see some additional names in here where they've built out integrations into our marketplace, say like a Halo PSA, and we're highlighting those integrators here. So this would be if you wanted to consume a pre-built integration. Otherwise, you do have the ability to leverage our APIs and webhooks to be able to create your own custom built integration where you can realize some automations. And that's here where we have these integration guides where we've put together different guides where we see partners wanting to onboard specific tasks or automate some specific tasks. So maybe I want to do one for just like onboarding a new company here. You can see the steps that it would take to create this integration. We have a no code and a code guide here for you, depending on how you want to approach creating that. And I think what's also really neat here is you have the ability to create a prompt based on this specific integration that you're looking to create, and then you could dump that into your AI tool, and you could have it start building out steps that it would take to build out an integration. So really cool things going on in the integrations hub. And then I'm going to now jump into the Voyager Alliance tab here. This you'll hear a little bit more about, but this is how, this is where, depending on what tier you are as a partner, you have the ability to leverage, think of it almost like you're leveraging credit card points or credit card rewards. You'd have the ability to do that here in the Pax8 marketplace, and you could see where you are at in terms of what tier and how you can then leverage those points to receive discounts, things like that on Pax8 marketplace products. Lastly, before I jump into the PSA tool integration, we're going to jump into all settings, and we're going to look at migrations. This is a newer product that we released, really exciting. This is really helpful for partners migrating their Microsoft subscriptions into the Pax8 marketplace, really just for transparency as well as automation to make it as seamless as possible to help migrate your business into the Pax8 marketplace. Seen a lot of partners take advantage of this, and I continue to see innovation around this product as there's different types of migrations in and out of the Pax8 marketplace. We have support here. This is where you can view any of your support tickets. Academy. You'll hear a little bit more about Academy, but if you were to click into that Academy blade there, this will bring you to all of our self-service Academy content. We acquired C-Level Coaching about, I want to say maybe 5-6 years ago. Might need to be fact checked on that timeline, but I think this is one of the things that is where partners take advantage of Academy. I tend to see those be the most successful partners, and really just adopting, learning more about different vendors. It's also about MSP coaching, business practice 101. So definitely encourage our partners to check out the Academy. There's a lot of free on-demand learning. You'll learn a little bit more about the Academy and the different offerings here shortly. And then lastly, the other things that I wanted to just highlight before I jump into the PSA tool integration is this global search bar here. If you were to start searching, say maybe I want to look up E5, this will search our entire Pax8 marketplace, whether it's products, subscriptions. So easy way to find what you're looking for in our Pax8 marketplace. This inbox here, this is where you're going to see any messages coming in and out of the Pax8 marketplace. So really just an easy way to track any communications. And then in the top right here, this is where you can find partner help, developer help, catalog changes, release notes, and then this will bring you to the Pax8 website. With that, I'm going to say before I jump into the PSA tool integration demonstration, please reach out to your account manager or your dedicated point of contact here at Pax8. If you want like more of a high level, or if you want more of a deeper dive into the Pax8 marketplace, if you have specific questions, I know I may breeze through some of these sections here today, but really just wanted to make it as high level as possible and really emphasize just all the different things that we have going on in the Pax8 marketplace, and then also the ease of being able to manage your existing subscriptions and being able to buy, sell, and manage your cloud products. With that said, I'm going to jump into our PSA tool integration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of my subscriptions. So here, this is my client, Wallace & Grant Co. I currently have 189 of these Microsoft Intune Plan 1 licenses. You'll notice in the top right, when you have our integration in place between ConnectWise, you'll have these big blue sync buttons. You also have a sync status of synced, auto sync enabled. What our PSA tool integration does with whether it's ConnectWise, Synchro, Autotask, Kaseya BMS, it's really primarily for helping our partners automate billing. We also have those other integrations, like I mentioned, like a Halo PSA. I think Gorilla was in there. Those are built by those specific third-party integrators where they've built out that integration using our APIs. Works very similarly, maybe slightly different, but when it comes to the ConnectWise Autotask, these are integrations that we built out. I'd say they've been around for, I think when we looked at that slide, since 2020, maybe even earlier, and really, I think partners that leverage this see the automation and the benefits. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at this quantity of 189. I'm going to find my company in ConnectWise. So in my company in ConnectWise, I have an agreement called W&G Monthly Managed Services. If we take a look at this agreement, I have all these additions for all my Microsoft licenses, but I'm going to look at this Best Microsoft Intune Plan 1 NCE monthly product here. So currently I have a 189. If I come back into Pax8, there's my 189. What I'm going to do is, hey, Wallace & Grant Co., they need an additional Intune Plan 1 license. So I'm going to go ahead and modify that quantity. We're going to accept the terms and conditions, hit submit. So at this point, I've just ordered that license. It's begun provisioning, but now I need to make sure that I'm going to be billing my client accurately. So once this completes, it's going to tell me subscription updated. I do have something called auto sync enabled. So at midnight Mountain Standard Time tonight, it would automatically push that quantity change over to my agreement in ConnectWise. But I'm going to go ahead and manually sync this. So I'm going to click sync. And actually, if you notice here, we're going to cancel this sync real quick. When I modified that subscription, that sync status changed on unsync. So, hey, I changed it. Now I need to make sure that that's going to get reflected over into my agreement in ConnectWise, Autotask, Synchro, Kaseya BMS, depending on what PSA tool I'm leveraging. So when I click this big blue sync, this will take me through. I think of it almost as like a checkout process where I click into my connection. It's going to ask for a binding between a Pax8 company to its ConnectWise company. This tells our integration what agreements, contracts, recurring invoice templates to pull up based on the PSA tool that you're leveraging and what company's mapped. And then here is a binding between a product that tells our integration what product to be updating or creating on that agreement in ConnectWise for this specific example. So at this point, now what it's going to do is it's going to search for any monthly agreements for my client Wallace and Grant. It's going to push that quantity of 190 as I've added that license. And next, what it's also going to do is for any licenses added midterm, it's going to give you the ability to sync over a prorated amount for that one license added today. So when I click next, it brings me to a review page showing I'm updating the current ConnectWise edition. And I'm creating a new ConnectWise edition, and that's going to be for that prorated amount. So I'm going to go ahead and click confirm sync. And so at this point, that's now been pushed over, reflected over into my agreement in ConnectWise. If I go ahead and refresh this page, I'm going to see this go to 190, and then I'm also going to have a prorated amount at the bottom. I'm just going to make it so I have the full amount here. So here, there's that 190, and then also there's that prorated amount for that one license added today. So that's just a quick demonstration. I'd recommend reaching out to your dedicated point of contact. We could hop on a call with someone like myself or one of my colleagues to walk you through if you do leverage a PSA tool integration or a PSA tool. The idea being just to really help simplify and automate your billing. And especially if you're adding, removing licenses, canceling licenses, you have the ability to automate that through our PSA tool integrations. Also, if you didn't want to find any guides, you could find those up in the Partner Help Center, and then you could have the ability to set that up yourself. But with that, I'm going to kick it back to Priscilla or my man Nick here, but really appreciate the time. And before I kick it over, I hope you realize and see that Pax8 is a product company just by all the different things that I've shown you. And you'll also hear more about the Voyager Alliance, Guided Growth Academy. But thanks for your time. Please reach out to your dedicated point of contact, and I'll pass it to my good friend, Nick. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Grant. I appreciate you sharing that with us. So on this slide right here and over the next couple of slides, we're going to go over a couple of things. So as a partner, your future is really built through innovation. These next few slides are going to cover our Academy, our Pro Services, and our Voyager Alliance as well. On this slide, one thing to touch on is that Pax8 is not just a distributor of cloud solutions. We are a product company. All right. So we're an ecosystem of products designed to evolve with you, the partner. Each product builds on the other, empowering you to innovate and thrive at really every stage of your business. The evidence is in our products. So our marketplace is a platform that creates new sales opportunities and deeper customer relationships. The academy that we provide, it's going to provide roadmaps, learning paths, and also AI skill building. We also have results selling framework, which is basically just practical sales enablement. And then our Voyager Alliance is going to be a tiered strategic partner program built for your stage of growth. Next slide, please. Awesome. So I saw a few of you post in the poll earlier that ongoing education was important to you. So let's cover Pax8 Academy. So Pax8 Academy is essentially going to be education for every step of the MSP journey. So we have an on-demand content library through our marketplace. We have instructor-led training. These are 2 to 8 week programs. We also have one-on-one operational coaching, and we can also assist you with certifications, technical skills, business acumen, and also some sales and marketing. Awesome, thanks. So another slide here on Pax8 Academy. We're going to be able to increase your team's capabilities. So whether or not it's from business, sales and marketing, certification readiness, your technical acumen, cybersecurity, or operations, we're really here to meet you every step of the way. And then on the next slide is going to be some of our most popular instructor-led trainings. So the first course is going to be the Building Your MSP course. I think that this is a super valuable course. It's going to be a 4-week training that provides you advice and best practices on the basics of operating in the cloud and also becoming an MSP. I think another course that goes hand in hand with this is our Contracts and Agreements course. This is going to be a 2-week training that reviews the fundamental agreements that you're having with your clients. It also reviews documents and contracts that an MSP is actually going to use. And then the other course is going to be an 8-week course. That's deploying M365 Business Premium. It's a training that gives you a practical walkthrough of M365 Business Premium and then all of its features. On the next slide here, I'm going to get into our professional services. Professional services, think of them as an extension of your team. So our professional services, they're going to extend your team's capabilities with extra bandwidth and expertise for, complex or time-consuming projects. We hear a lot of things that consume our time, like cloud architecture, our security strategy, a lot of Azure deployments, and really some of these custom cloud initiatives that are taking up a lot of your time. I think utilizing Pax8 professional services allows you to improve your margins. It's going to allow you to improve client satisfaction and really scale your operations effectively. Our cloud architecture services involve really comprehensive planning and design to optimize cloud infrastructure for performance, reliability, and really cost effectiveness. Some examples of the pro services, if you can just go to the next slide, please. So some examples of our professional services are going to be like Azure migrations and deployments, Azure Active Directory setup, some SharePoint Online implementation, custom cloud projects, Intune advisory and implementation, hardening M365, security implementation, as well as M365 migrations and products. Thanks, Priscilla. And so the next thing that I want to just go on, and we'll go to the next slide and just sit on here for a second, is going to be our Voyager Alliance. The Voyager Alliance is a scalable partner program with these tailored tiers that you can see on the screen here. It's curated enablement, education, and resources, really built to support your growth at every stage. So here's the tiers from Alliance to Galactic, and then I'm going to kick it back over to Priscilla.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. And thanks, Grant, for walking us through all of that great content there. I did want to launch one more poll as well. Awesome. I know Grant touched on this during the marketplace demo as well, but curious to what vendors you all are currently using right now. I will open that poll here. Awesome. I know this is literally just a snapshot of what vendors are on our line card. Like Grant mentioned, these are currently evolving, adding, and we're making sure they're hidden for you and your business. So just there's a couple there, like I mentioned. If you have others that you use that you love, please add them in the chat. If there's some that you want to see from us, definitely add those to the chat as well, and we'll pass those along. But just some main ones there. So I'll give that just a second. But as you were answering that as well, wanted to show some of our featured vendors. Again, this is a snapshot of all of our vendors on our line card. And then also wanted to touch on, we have a vendor monthly update every single month. We bring you the most up-to-date information on vendors. We do a vendor spotlight and just it's a quick hour webinar. So we'd love to have you every month. We record those as well, so you can access those just to make sure you're taking advantage of our partnership and getting all the most up-to-date vendor information there. So thanks for that participation. Awesome. I know a lot of Microsoft there. Great AWS and so on. So great feedback there. Awesome. And then, yeah, I'll throw that link in the chat for that vendor monthly update as well, so you can register. Again, it's once a month, gets you all that information on our vendors. Awesome. And just a reminder, we will have an event giveaway with your questions. You are entered to win. So please throw some questions in the Q&A and you'll be entered to win a 3-month instructor-led training. But with that, it is now time for our partner panel. I'd love to pass it off to Nick and Andrew. And again, throw any questions that you'd like in the chat, the Q&A. They're happy to answer those, but I will go ahead and pass it off to you guys to kick it off.
Awesome. Thanks, Priscilla. So I know that we had a brief introduction with Andrew here on the beginning of the call, but I want to introduce one of our partners, Andrew Carey from Shift IT Solutions out of Ontario. Hi, Andrew. It's good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm terrific, thank you, and I'm super happy to be able to help out with your program here today.
Awesome. Yeah, we really appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day and week to be able to sit down and chat with us. I know that you gave us a brief introduction at the beginning of the call, but can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your company?
So Shift IT Solutions is a traditional MSSP. We have been in business since the mid-2000s. We are an Academy member with Pax8. We're a very early adopter with Pax8. We are also Titan level, I believe, at this point in time. We are based out of Oakville, Ontario, covering the Greater Toronto area, as well as Calgary, Edmonton as well, out west. We started this journey with Pax8 last year on developing the soon-to-be introduced Shift IT Intelligence. We are working and have a coach in place right now to help us work through implementing this new division within our organization to bring forward to our customers kind of a different offering than we have so far, and to leverage their curiosity and hesitancy in some instances. So it's kind of a slow walk to begin with. We are a little bit different in that we are ISO 27001 certified ourselves for information security management systems, as well as we are registered for ISO 42001, which is the artificial intelligence management systems as well. Internally, well, we've done that ourselves just for an operational maturity reason over the last few years. And yeah, it's good. We'll get into this a little bit more about Pax8, about the reasoning behind this, because traditional MSP has been pretty solid over the last little while, but at the end of the day, moving forward, you need to adapt into the changes in the industry.
That's awesome to hear. I'm always curious. It's always good to connect with partners. But how did you find out about Pax8? How did the relationship start?
Okay, well, I've probably been doing this longer than I would like to admit, but I have known Bob Ray and Irvish in the front office since the mid-2000s. And one day when Irvish left where he was at and went to Pax8, I got a text and a link to sign up. And that's literally how I found out. And of course, Alan Weiss is over there now as well. So it's just a group of individuals I've known a really, really long time. And they've never let me down before. And they always answer the phone when I call them. So I'm indebted to that, because that level of service is hard to come up with these days.
That's awesome. So you, some trusted colleagues and allies recommended that you come here. Outside of just like the trust that you had built with some of those guys, I'm curious, just like what else intrigued you the most about, the opportunity to work with Pax8?
Well, Pax8 is different. Most people envision kind of a distributorship model with most of their suppliers. Pax8's definitely more of a partner. We've hired a coach with Pax8. We're actually creating an entirely new division based on discussions with Pax8, moving things forward. And I don't have that with anybody else that we actually buy product off of. So that's very, very different relationship than anybody else that we actually deal with. And especially even hiring a coach, because these things are all great and well when someone brings something up, but the bottom line is, how do you make money off of it? And how do you not affect your EBITDA at the end of the year? So for me, when I always hear we're kind of low double digits on the EBITDA side, but then all of a sudden when I see someone who's actually got a much higher number with less employees, it always really intrigues me as to where are we missing this equation part, and why are they more profitable, right?
Yeah, and I know that Pax8, minimizes a number of common pain points that partners have previously experienced working with other avenues like distribution, like direct vendor relationships, maybe a combination of both. But I guess my next question for you is, can you just share a little bit more about your experience with the Pax8 marketplace and really how it's improved your overall day-to-day operations?
Single pane of glass. It's crucial for us right now, especially we're a Microsoft partner and have been forever. And I think our Microsoft partnership fees went up by ×4 this year compared to what we've been paying. They changed the name and boosted the price up. But Pax8 is essential on our back end, not just for us, but for our customers as well, on trying to get support out of Microsoft for a lot of the actual products that we have right now in a timely fashion. And then being able to actually have, some of our customers really enjoy being able to add licenses themselves instead of sending a ticket in or doing something like that, right? So, having that marketplace and saying, if you want to add more licenses, just go here, add more licenses. We are a ConnectWise partner as well, so it does integrate into our billing system. So that is a great time saver for us going forward as well, having that working. And then also, whenever we run into a situation where we're not quite sure what's going on with, I don't really want to harp on Microsoft, but they tend to be kind of the major one where they'll change the name of a product or an offering, and we've got to kind of come back to our customer with what actually is the best product to put in front of you. We've got the resources at Pax8 to be able to kind of guide us through that, because we're just reading things as well, trying to figure out where we're at. Right?
So curious, a couple of things that you mentioned there. You mentioned our ConnectWise integration. I know that our ConnectWise integration is one of our most valuable integrations, in the fact that it's actually uniquely embedded in ConnectWise, so you can actually access the Pax8 marketplace without leaving ConnectWise. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
That's awesome. And then I guess just my next question for you as well too is, when you talk about support on the front end, can you walk us through instances where the pre-sale support and the account team has really helped you?
Well, the key point right now on the intelligence side, and what we're working on with our coach, is all of our customers that we're talking to understand that these intelligence AI tools are available for them to use, but they don't really know where to start with it. So we've worked very closely with Pax8 to come up with a very gentle way to introduce them. And our focal point for that is to concentrate on people that live in their Outlook inbox at this point in time, utilizing Copilot, obviously, and utilizing Learn 365, getting them started on optimizing their processes during the day with their inbox. The secondary part of that, which is more related to our new division within the company, is once we get going on that time-saving usage of AI for them, is to start talking about other things within their business themselves, and putting forth proposals, not necessarily a professional services proposal, but more agentic proposals of saving time within the company. And then, how do you bill for that, right? We all understand that we don't want to bill project costs because, I was talking out west with your Playmaker event with someone that provided $10,000 worth of consulting to his customer and then ended up saving them $1.5 million a year with some AI implementation within the company. So it was like we kind of undersold ourselves on that a little bit, right? So so that engagement, it definitely helps in talking to the customers and Pax8 on moving in that direction for us, and we understand that. And the reason we're doing a new division within the company is the skill set within that division is different, the MSP. So we have new hires in that division, which aren't really like level 1 service people. They're more business analysts and looking for things within the company themselves that we can help automate and save them time and money. And also reiterating that this is not about replacing people. It's just getting rid of some repetitive tasks internally for them. So
awesome. And then I'm kind of curious too, you talked about like the marketplace, the consolidation aspect of it. I guess just like before partnering with Pax8, what type of like relationships did you have in place? Were you working with like distributors? Did you have direct vendor relationships in place, or was it a combination of both? What can you tell me about that? I'm curious.
We were pretty much direct. We did have some, obviously at that point in time before Pax8 show up, Microsoft did have some support. Isn't necessarily the case anymore. So we were dealing with individual suppliers at that point in time, which, in some instances it was very good. In other instances, there was kind of a churn that happened all the time that was a little bit annoying. You'd get a call every 3 months from a new customer service rep, and you'd kind of have to explain your entire business to them 4 times a year.
Sure.
So from a stabilization standpoint with Pax8, we're dealing with the same people for quite a while now, and they don't necessarily go anywhere. They just kind of migrate within, but those people are still there. So it's very, very, and for us, it's just very essential to know who we can call when we have an issue that we actually need to deal with quickly with the customer, right?
Right. And I know that when you deal with a lot of direct vendor relationships, there's a lot of like inefficiencies or pain points that come along with that. But is there anything top of mind specifically that, Pax8 solved with the consolidation in terms of like pain points or inefficiencies?
Well, I mean, the big thing for us was we were able to actually get billed in Canadian dollars consistently. So we kind of had an understanding of what our bill was going to be per month based on what the dollar was doing. That was very difficult to figure out whether or not what our bill was going to be every single month. But there's something to be said for consistency. And, there's also, we did a survey a little while ago with our customers. It's always interesting when you do these surveys and you ask them, what's the number one thing you like about working with us? And I had a myriad of ideas of what I thought it was going to be that came back. And the number one thing that came back is you guys answer your phones. And I was like, okay, noted. And for us, Pax8's the same way. when I reach out to get in touch with somebody, I get a call, right? So, you know, you may not be able to help us out, but at least I've shared my grief with somebody, right?
Right. Yeah, I think that that's important. You know, it's the ability not just for Pax8 to support you, the MSP, but it's the ability for you to be able to support your clients that much better as well. I guess just like along that same vein, we talked about like the consolidation of like a number of different like direct relationships through into one single pane of glass. But can you share with me a little bit more about like what your onboarding process looked like and what that actually looked like for you?
Oh, well, we've been with you guys so long right now. That's even hard to remember how that went. You know, but I mean, certainly we never have any issues with the integration with ConnectWise. Which is super big for us because previous to this, you know, billing was a nightmare. We were always trying to figure out how many licenses people had or you know, along those lines, or you know, and also the ability to you know, put that marketplace in place so they can go in and buy their own licenses, which is a nice surprise as well. And you know, I think one partner last year I spoke to said that somebody out of the blue just bought like 5,000 CrowdStrike licenses off of them. They didn't even know who it was, right? And it's all of a sudden it's like, who's this, right? And they'd been shopping around, found their marketplace, and bought the product off of them. So that's good. It was seamless from an onboarding standpoint. You know, it's something that we try to mimic when we're dealing with our new customers. You know, I think you know, we average maybe a new customer every 2 weeks at this point in time. So we've kind of got that down pat, but there's always that discovery and stabilization when you're dealing with customers because they may or may not know how many. It's amazing how many of our new customers don't actually know how many computers they have. You know, they tell you, you put the agents out there and it's all of a sudden it's like, you told us you had 25 computers. You got like 34. And they're like, oh, okay. So, you know, that's not, it's not lost on us that it's a seamless integration with what we put forward. So.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And I guess just like, you know, you touched on this a little bit earlier, but I'm just curious from you, like, what do you think are some areas of enablement that Pax8 has helped you the most on?
Well, certainly starting last year with the managed intelligence provider discussion, we were struggling with how we were going to get that out to our customers, what it was going to look like, how to go from kind of the service delivery upper level, like the really easy low-hanging tree fruit, into getting more involved. So definitely the coaching, the playbook has been a huge point of contact for us moving forward, and kind of what the next generation of our company is going to be coming up, right?
Cool. And then on like the academy side of things, you know, you said that you had a coach that you just started working with. What's that relationship look like, and what types of stuff have you been working on?
So we have an operations manager that is directly dealing with the coach on setting up the new division. My part of it is, as a CEO, is I want an understanding of how we make money on it, what that's going to look like, and then how those EBITDA numbers are going to enhance what we're already doing. I mean, we've been doing this long enough that we understand what it should be from an operational maturity level. And I think on that scale, the DIPL runs, we're at about 3.7. So we think we're pretty good out of 4, but then every once in a while I'll hear from, you know, another partner that's at a higher level. And it's like, well, what are they doing differently? So that's it's nice to be able to go back to the coach at that point in time and say to them, look at,
Mhm.
we're at 11.75 right now. What are they doing differently that they're at 16 or 17, right?
Mhm.
Or the most extreme case
Mhm.
was your VP of AI adoption. When he sold his MSP, he was at EBITDA of 27%. So that's just a staggering number to me. So it internally reflecting, that's the thing that I'm always questioning is, where are we losing this profitability that some of the other people
Right.
are being able to draw upon? Because of course that going forward makes a big difference within the organization for other things that we can do, right?
Mhm. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's really, the questions that I have for you, but I guess I'll just put you on the spot here. I know that we, kind of briefly spoke on what we were maybe going to cover in this portion of the launch briefing, but like, what's your like number one favorite thing about working with Pax8?
There's a familiarity with the individuals involved in the process, which is, I'm at the point in my career right now where I like working with certain individuals that are of the same mindset as myself.
Yep.
And there's some others that aren't. So for me, it's kind of a safe space when I'm working with Pax8 and individuals that I've known for so many years. On business processes and building a company.
Sure. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Andrew, it was so awesome having you on here today. I know that I thanked you already, but really do appreciate the time. Appreciate you taking some time out of your busy day and week to be able to sit down and chat with us. Super insightful. And I hope that you have a good rest of your day. I hope that you have a good rest of your week, and hope to talk to you again soon, man.
Okay, terrific. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy to be able to give back a little bit because
Right on.
Pax8 has certainly helping us shape our company going forward.
Yeah, I know that we had talked about it a little bit earlier, but I was a part of the efforts when we were building out like our Canada team, and it's just been cool to see the growth, and even cooler to have one of our partners on one of these calls today too.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, over to you, Priscilla.
Awesome. Thank you both so much, Andrew. I know Nick just said, but thank you for joining us today. Love to hear from a partner and especially a Canadian partner. So thanks for being here. I just want to close us out with some enablement things for you, some events for you. I know I had mentioned this earlier, but we do have Beyond this year coming up in June. This year it's in Salt Lake City, so we hope you're able to join us. Go ahead and scan that QR code to sign up if you haven't yet. And the agenda should be dropping for that end of this month, I believe. So keep an eye on that, but you're not going to want to miss that event. And then also want to touch on, I won't list all of our events because there is a lot going on this year, but feel free to scan that QR code. We have so many events for you, mission briefings, boot camps, our launch briefings like today, and so many others that are listed there. You can find all of those details, event dates. We are in person and virtual, so we'll be kind of everywhere for you when you need us, but we'd love to see you on the road. Also throw some links in the chat for each of those. And then I know we had a raffle. I will throw in who our winner is in the chat, so keep an eye out for that. But thank you all for participating, for being here today. We just want to make sure we are making these super beneficial for you as well. So in just a few, I will throw in a survey chat. Good, the bad, the ugly. We want to hear all of it. Again, we want to make sure you're taking as much out of this as we put into it for you. So I will throw in the winner in the chat in just a second. And then this is also a scheduled call. Feel free to get in contact with us. Ask us any questions you have from today's launch briefing for anything with our partnership. We want to make sure, again, you're getting helped, getting your questions answered. We are here for you. And just to really close this out, I'm going to kick it back to Nick to go over becoming a partner. Right there.
All right, great. Thanks, Priscilla.
Awesome. Yeah.
stuff. All right, on this slide right here, we do have a QR code for you to be able to become a Pax8 partner. There also is the ability to access this through pax8.com as well. So if you click the QR code, should be pretty straightforward. But if you go to pax8.com, what you'll want to do is click on the Get Started tab in the upper right-hand corner. And what that will do is that will verify your email first. What we do need is a personal email attached to your website domain. We want to make sure that there's a person attached to this. So the email can't be info@, support@, or a personal email like Gmail or Yahoo, things like that. We're essentially legitimizing the businesses that are partnering with Pax8. So fast forward a couple of months down the line, these are the steps that our team takes to protect you, the partner, from really just anybody signing up. So once you enter your email address, you will receive an activation link from noreply@pax8.com that you will need to verify to complete the sign-up form. If you don't see it, sometimes just wait a minute. Sometimes it might end up in spam, so check there as well. But yeah, that's all I got for now. And I'm going to kick it back over to you, Priscilla, to close us out. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
Yeah, any questions on becoming a Pax8 partner, you can always schedule a call. Let us know how we can help. But like Nick said, definitely take advantage. Do it on desktop if you can. I threw that link in the chat for you as well, so you can easily copy paste to get signed up. But otherwise, thank you all so much for joining us today. We will have another launch briefing in April, so please join us there as well. We will have a recording for this, so you can access to kind of go over everything we covered. If you want to rewatch some portions, please do so. But otherwise, thank you for joining us. Please, we'd love to see you in an event this year sometime. Check out our events page beyond. We can't wait to get in contact with you for you to become a partner. And we look forward to working with you soon. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day.